What's up, YouTube fam? We're gonna jump right into it. I aspire you all are well, but relatives versus family. Yes, there is a difference. And I've been talking about my story a little bit by bit, sharing that I've come from a dysfunctional family, that I was also raised by a narcissistic mother, and I've endured a lot through my upbringing with said dysfunctional family members and dysfunctional cycles and patterns that have been perpetuated with my generation, and realizing that it is up to me to break that and to start creating new, healthier habits that are progressive and overall very strengthening to my relationships with others and those who are very dear to me. I've been thinking a lot on the concept of just soul family and soul tribe, the people who I would actually see as family, because I no longer equate, my relatives as family. That's exactly why I made this video, because I'm saying there is a difference. Sharing blood with people and having, similar DNA and all this kind of stuff is just the way how it goes. Family trees are created that way. People have siblings, people have parents, and soon they become uncles or aunts or grandmothers, and it just goes on and on and on. But that bond is something different, because there have been many moments in my family history where obviously it didn't feel like we were family, big happy family. It was more so just a lot of tension, a lot of conflict, a lot of avoidance, a lot of passive aggressive and also just aggressive things of nature going on. And my intention with this YouTube video especially, and just me putting myself out a lot more out on social media, that intention has been to connect with more like-minded people and meet my actual family, because it's that bond, it's that relationship, it's that closeness, it's that compatibility that really shows, hey, we're family. And I've spoken about this before in one of my previous videos. I'll link that above. But basically talking about when you have a narcissistic parent and they're gonna wanna, throw all the stuff in your face simply because of their relationship to you blood wise and DNA wise, hence being your relative. Oh, I'm your mom, so you gotta do this and this and that for me, or I'm your dad, you gotta do this and this and that for me because we're family. And it's like, nah, man, I just happen to be somebody who was raised by you, or I grew up around you and you were just around in my life a lot. Like, you're just a relative that was around a lot, And I've begun to really hone in on just receiving respect and being respected, because I know it's something that I deserve, and it's not a lot to ask for respect from somebody, honestly. Like, that is literally bare minimum, okay? Literally bare minimum, if we're being real. To have just respect and that space to talk about your feelings and to be vulnerable, to be honest, to be real, to be your authentic, true self. Like, I love being around people like that, and those are people who I can grow to call family, and that's really special to me. Like, that's so real to me, considering I didn't grow up around that. I grew up around relatives where I had to suppress myself a lot and perform and do all these things in order to get approval from someone else, even though I wasn't entirely happy. Or I convinced myself that I was happy because I was making someone else happy. And for me, I'm just at a point now where I'm so ready to meet soul tribe and meet soul family and meet a lot of people who not necessarily had to have gone through what I gone through, because all of our experiences are different, but we all come to the same conclusions, you know? And I know a lot of us for sure come from a lot of dysfunctional patterns or a lot of just brokenness in the home. And you crave for that now that you're able to really make decisions for yourself and no longer continue to entertain the things that have been so apparent and that was kept alive because people kept feeding into it as you were growing up, and you could just never catch a break. But now you can catch a break and you're like, wow, okay, I'm ready to switch things up. I'm ready to do things differently in terms of just how I view those around me, whether they're related to me or not. Like, I don't care. You don't have to be my blood sibling or my blood parent or my blood aunt, my blood cousin, my blood niece, my blood nephew in order for me to care for you and be like, yeah, you're my family. Like, nah. If things are just great between us and I love you and I love being around you and we love being around each other and our bond is just so fantastic, sacred, and special, you're family. You're family. And I really love that more and more people have started to come online and make their presence known, because how else do we know that you're out there if you're not putting yourself out there, you know? And that's why I got over my initial fear or concern of being perceived and speaking my thoughts online, just because of the potential rejection and the potential criticism and feedback that I could get from other people who necessarily don't agree with what I have to say, or, you know, people just be having a lot to say regardless of what you gotta say. So that's just something that I had to get over, because I'm not meant to be accepted by everybody, and if everybody likes you, then something's wrong, because you're never gonna be everyone's cup of tea. And you're not here, that's a big thing too, you're not here to appeal to everybody and please everybody. Like, you will literally be overextending yourself in all sorts of areas trying to appeal to one whole group, being, I guess, the human race as a whole. Like, people like what they like, people resonate with what they resonate with, and I'm not meant to be friends with everybody, and I'm not meant to even be close with a lot of people in this lifetime, because yeah, we just all think differently, and the bonds that are very authentic and true to me, I will definitely cherish that, because it can be really rare even in this day and age, being able to find genuine connections, or, you know, people who aren't so absorbed in the virtual world like we are as a society now, which is also another conversation in its own, because social media has really done its number on people's critical thinking skills and people's overall ability to think and, you know, overall morality. So anyways, soul and family is just very important to me and very dear to me, because I understand just how sacred it is to meet like-minded individuals, especially on this journey, because you start thinking different and you start expanding your mind, and you start to see how people have limited their minds and limited themselves ultimately because of that. And me, I love people who can dream big, because I can dream big. I love people who definitely encourage me to do the impossible, because they know that we're not bounded by other people's opinions and thoughts unless we want to be. Like, it's really truly a choice. And I choose with that being said, I choose to surround myself with like-minded people and to not stop until I get that, you know, and know that it's mine, and keep persisting in that knowing, because I myself am the only proof that I need to know that other people of my energy and characteristics like exist because I exist, and I know the kind of dope person I am. I know how cool I am. It's such a great feeling being able to know that a younger version of you would be so happy of who you turned out to be. And that's exactly how it is for me. Like, I know, like, 13-year-old me is like, wow, Joanne, you are so cool. And I love that. I love that. But yeah, for sure, I feel like sometimes we really do gotta make the distinction and make it clear, because some people really be using family as an excuse to treat you all kinds of ways, and that's not right. Because relative or not, I'm still human with feelings, emotions, thoughts, and if someone ain't gonna respect me for who I am, then toodles, whether you are family or not, whether you're a relative or not. Because once again, I'm very specific on who I'm gonna call family, and there are a lot of people I've met throughout my life where at some point I was like, I don't feel like this is a friendship, like this feels like family. Like, I feel very at home. I feel very at peace. I feel welcomed and allowed to really be myself and have that be well received. And that's a great, beautiful feeling, of course. So, yeah, that's currently been my mission so far, especially since I started my TikTok in June 2024. I recently started posting on my Instagram. I took a little break, but I'm going to get back to that. I don't even know when I'm going to post this video, but as of right now, I haven't posted on Instagram in a while. But I plan to change that. And above all, I'm already grateful for the connections that have been made. They're just not tangible yet. If you know, you know. Red string theory. But all these people that I know, I'm just destined to cross paths with because our energy and our likeness is just so similar. Obviously, we have our differences, but we're just compatible, And it's because we understand how important intentions are with forming relationships and forming friendships, and thus creating more and more soul tribe family members. And yeah, I love to see it all unfold. And I'm just grateful for the community I have growing on here. I am super excited to see where this channel goes because I know it's just destined to do numbers. And I'm gonna keep going and keep doing my thing and posting these videos because I just know that my community's out there, my tribe's out there, and y'all get me so much, and y'all can relate to me so much because although our experiences weren't the exact same, you still came to the same conclusions I did, and that's why you're here now. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to have had that time to reflect and come to these conclusions, such as the title of this video within itself, relatives versus family. Like, let's really talk about it. But yeah, I just wanted to come up here and say that. And I just love you so, so much. Thank you for existing. Thank you for being here. If you're not a part of the community, I am going to invite you to subscribe because we got a lovely community growing, and I can just feel it and I know it, and I can't wait to see where this journey leads me and all the people that I'm bound to just meet and cross paths with and get to know and get acquainted with, become friends with. And sisterhood is very dear to me, and friendship as a whole is very, very dear to me. And shout out to everybody who is very sincere and very intentional from the jump about you know, just these kind of things as a whole. Because like I said, social media has done some stuff, you know, with where we're at. And I feel like COVID too just played a big part. But anyways, no excuses. Everybody can take the time to think about certain things and why they think how they think. Anyways, from me to you, peace and love, peace and love. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.